Would you believe it? Another Goblin Cylinder Vacuum Cleaner. I think I'm obsessed. So guys, as you know, on the channel recently we've had an early 70s Goblin cylinder, the 702. We've had a late 90s Goblin cylinder, the Aztec 1600E. Now this one is a late 70s Goblin cylinder. So it'll be quite interesting to compare it to the 702. So we've got early 70s. Well, really the start of 702 came out, I think it was 1969. So there's about 10 years difference between 702 and what's in this box. Now, this is an interesting one, this. I haven't owned one of these for a long time. I do remember having one as a kid. I can't remember where it came from, but I did have one. It wasn't this particular version. And I've seen various pictures of them as well. And I've also got the Goblin 1000 version of this particular machine. So this cleaner is a really funny one. It's a real oddball, but it's a Goblin, so what do you expect, really? These came out, I think, in the late 1970s, and they had a reasonably short production run from probably about maybe 1978 up until 83, maybe into 84. I think it was probably replaced by the Goblin Solo, actually, and I think Solo came out in 84. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. So was that 6 years? 6-year production run. Not too bad, I suppose, but considering that some machines went on for decades, I suppose in the grand scheme of things that is quite short. But they used to make these cleaners in all kinds of ridiculous colours. I've seen them in a 70s green, a 70s red, a 70s orange, and I believe the one we've got in here is a more subdued 70s beige colour. Now, as you know, I love a beige. I do. I love beige. So my friend Stu sent me a link to this cleaner. So thank you, Stu. I know you watched the videos. God bless you. Yeah, I did buy it, and here it is. It's taken me so long to make the video of this. I think this box has been here a week, so I finally get round to unboxing the damn thing. So I guess we should do it, shouldn't we, really? We should have a look at what we've got. I am really happy to have this cleaner because, as I say, it's been a long time since I've owned one. Just to work out where it is in the box. Is that the top? I think that might be the top. Oh my god, smash. Well, let's hope it survived, eh? Quite a big box, but then it's a big cleaner. Let's start hacking away at this tape. Probably going to have to put it down on the floor and then reveal it to you guys. I don't have the full toolkit with it, unfortunately. I think there's only a hose and a floor tool, which is alright because, as I say, I've got the Goblin 1000 version of this machine, which does have tools. So we can use the rods of the 1000 version. It's a shame, really, because I've been wanting to show you the Goblin 1000 version of this cleaner for ages, because it's really interesting. This whole range is really weird 1970s cylinder vacuum cleaner nonsense. It's crazy, but I can't get to the Goblin 1000 that's up in the attic. I've got so much stuff now. I've got so many vacuum cleaners that it's buried right at the back of the attic under like a shelf, and it's got loads and loads of boxes and loads of cleaners in front of it, and I can't easily get to it. But for ages I really wanted to show you that cleaner, but at least I've got the more interesting version. I suppose technically it's more interesting. I think it's quite dirty. Is it? Oh, it's so dirty, honestly. I think the dirt's been coming out of the bag. So there's the floor tool for it. Now, I think this is really cool. This is a really nice, interesting type of floor tool because it's like dual colour, two-tone, I suppose. The pedals are in like a, it's grey. Yeah, it's very light grey, and the head itself is black. And this is, I believe, the original floor tool, and it has a very wide bore opening on it as well. This head is not in too bad condition. Have a look. No. Try and get it away from the light. There's a little bit of surface rust on it, but it's not too bad. I've seen it a lot worse than that. So yeah, that's the floor tool. And grab the hose. Oh, the hose is quite dirty. So here's the hose. Now, pretty standard fare for the hose, really, but it does have quite an interesting catch on it. If you can see the catch there, where you press that down to release the hose from the machine. It's a swivel top style hose, quite big, quite chunky. If you look at this bent end, it's a really big bent end with a massively oversized suction regulator control on it. And look at the wear. Where can I put that? Look at the wear on that. Look, I can put it that way, like that. My God, that's like an angle. It's angled off. Someone's been rubbing this, furiously rubbing this bent end on something or other. Now, I've got a theory. I reckon this machine might have been used to clean a car, because that is not normal. You can see, I don't know, my forehead. You can see the angle of it. That is really worn. So that bent end has done some work. Having said that, it is still in one piece, and we should be all right with it. It should work okay. So let me attempt to get the machine out. Oh, no, I think I may have gone in the wrong way. Oh, actually, you know, I said about the green one. Well, funnily enough, see, it didn't show up in the picture. I could have sworn it was beige in the picture. I think it was the picture was taken in really bright sunlight, and probably not a particularly good quality camera. And I could have sworn to you that the picture showed a beige machine. And it's so funny that I should mention a green one, because ta-da! That's just so funny. I honestly didn't think it was green. Really, really didn't. And I've just noticed something. We've got a wheel missing, which is a real shame back here, but I'll get to that in a second. So, yeah, and actually, I've just realised as well, this is a... I'm really bad at this, aren't I? I'm really bad at remembering what I've seen and what I've got. It's just ridiculous. This is actually a Goblin Electronic 1000. So it's the sister machine to the beige Goblin 1000 that I've got in the attic. I really need to get that cleaner now, because I really want to show you these machines side by side, but I can't. I just can't get it. But I must admit, I thought this one was branded an Omni, because that's what this cleaner is. It's a Goblin Omni. Now, the fact that it says Goblin Electronic 1000 says to me that it's a slightly later one than what I first thought, because the earlier machines were branded as Goblin Omni, and the later ones were branded as Goblin 1000s. But here it is. Look at it. I mean, let's just take a moment to just step back and take in the 70s majesty of these cleaners. Let's just pause. I do not think it is possible to get more 1970s than a Goblin Omni. I genuinely don't. I think this is the epitome, or the epitome. I never know which one it is. Epitome or epitome? Yeah, whatever. Of 1970s cylinder vacuum cleaner styling. It is just magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Look at it. I just look at it from the back, see if there's the missing wheel. It might be in the box. It's not in the box. That's a real shame. I might have to try and come up with something to fill that gap. But yeah, I mean, dear God in heaven, what a style! It looks like a spaceship. If you put it down, God, it's quite heavy. If you put it down like that, it's like, you just imagine it taking off and going to Button Moon. It's just It's mental. And that's, yeah, see, that's the other thing. I'm just looking at the ratings plate for it now. So it's a Model 1000E. It's got the catalogue number 20603. Ha, there we go. There we go. Serial number 2583. There's a clue. So I'm going to say that this was produced in the 25th week of 1983. And yeah, that tallies with my thoughts about why it's a Goblin 1000 and not a Goblin Omni. 1000 watts, no surprise there. Made in Italy for Swan Housewares Limited. So there we go. So that's when Goblin was part of Swan. I'm just trying to think about the company that would have made it for Goblin. Because again, if you recall in the previous Goblin videos, where I said to you that Goblin were very much geared towards outsourcing production of their vacuum cleaners. They rarely made their own machines. They would go to other companies and say, we need you to make us X number of thousand of these cleaners with our branding on it. How much? And then they'd buy a certain amount of these machines with their branding on it. And I wonder if this was a DeLonghi, possibly made by DeLonghi. Could be. If you guys know, please tell us in the comments. It'd be really useful to know. But yeah, do you know what? It's funny. I can't take my eyes off it. It really is quite something. It's filthy as well. It is absolutely filthy. This machine has had a hard life. As my friend Richard would say, it's been used hard and put away wet. And that's often what he wishes happened to him, but that's another story. So I guess we should see if it works, really. I suppose I should really tell you about what's inside. So if you push this massive, God, that is so stiff. You push it like so, and then we have I tried to see what's in the bag. Oh, okay, oh, it's not, oh, it stinks. It's very damp. There's the seal for the dust bag that goes on there. So you see that. So you've got an angled piece here. So you've got the hose entry on the top and then a right angle that comes through here. They do take paper bags, but Omni also has a cloth bag inside. So you've got you have a paper bag inside a cloth bag. This needs some servicing. My God, it is filthy. Let's have a quick look in here. You can't really see much if you look down there. I just show you. There's a filter grill, and that's pretty much it. You just have a quick peek down there, guys. And interestingly, you can see how the motor's mounted. So the motor is mounted in like a transverse fashion. I'm just conscious about these wheels. This one's broken as well. Just got to be really careful with that. Otherwise, we're going to lose all these wheels, which would be a real shame. Yeah, the motor is mounted sideways in the cleaner. So we've got we've got the fans here. We've got the fans here, and the end of the motor runs this way. So it's like a transverse motor style in it, similar to what machines had a transverse motor? Some ETAs had transverse motors. I'm sure they did. Anyway, that's by the by. I always love the fact that they do have the 4 wheels on the base, so the machine will roll on its base, which is pretty cool. Obviously, this one's struggling somewhat because it's missing a wheel. That's such a shame. I might be able to do something. I'm not sure. And from memory, how these come apart is really odd. It is really odd how they come apart. They kind of split into 3. It's almost like a 3-box style, if you like. So you've got one section which is the head section where the hose goes into. Then you've got the bag chamber here, and then you've got like the guts of the cleaner at the bottom. And you can actually take these off. So you can have like 3 separate sections. If I just turn it around, you'll be able to see on the top there, there's various screws along here. So you can undo these screws. You can take the machine's head off. And then I think it's these screws on the side here. I think, possibly, it's been a long time. well, there may be some inside, and then you can remove this section, so you're just left with the motor, electronics, yeah, the flex rewind section. So it's quite cool in that way. I do recall they are a pain to work on though. It's all very cramped in here, in this section. But they are fascinating cleaners. I've always been fascinated by these. I'm sure somebody, when I was a child, one of my relatives had one. I wonder if that was the orange one, because I do remember, vaguely remember, an orange Omni at some point. I don't know if that was the one I had. I can't remember. No, I don't know. It's too long in the past. Now, this one is the luxury version because it has electronic power control. So we have a knob here that we can rotate to vary the power, and it goes from curtains, oddly, clothes. Have you ever seen clothes written on a power selector dial? Clothes, doesn't say cloths, does it? No, clothes. Then next up we have upholstery, which makes sense. Then we have rugs, and then we have floors. I always thought they should put hard floors, really. Or do they mean carpet? See, this is the thing, isn't it? Do they mean floors, or hard floors, or carpets, or what? Oh, I don't know. I suppose both, really. Could be both, couldn't it? And then here, in this little light, I'm pretty sure that's a bag full indicator light. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's motor overheat. I think that is bag full. Yeah, clothes. I'm definitely going to be using it on the clothes setting. I can't wait for that. So really, we should see what it sounds like. I have a feeling it's going to sound a bit rough. Oh, I need to look in this box because I'm just wondering if maybe it's been broken. It wasn't particularly well packed, unfortunately. And I wonder if it may have had an impact here, and there's a few bits of plastic rattling around in the box, but I'll have to see. So let's pull the cable out. Kind of doesn't sit quite right with it's missing a wheel. It's a pity. Oh God, look at it. Look at the style. Look at the 70s. It's the 70s. All right, it's 1983, this one, but it's a 70s style. Shut up. Okay, let's pop it in. Let's see what happens. I'm going to turn it down to curtains. So we're probably going to get a big poof of dust out of this one. My God, if it works at all, actually, it'll be a miracle. Let's see. Let's plug it in. Let's see how we get on. Nothing yet. Right, you ready? I'm going to press the button. We might have to do a refurbishment video on this one. I think that is definitely on the card. So we've got a couple of immediate problems we can see there. Number one, the motor sounds awful. The bearings really need some work. Can't remember what motor this one has. I think it may be like a sort of oh God, the dust, like an Electrolux style motor. So that could be sorted easily. The electronic power control doesn't work. It'd be interesting to see if that's been bridged out actually, because that was a common thing for these machines of a certain vintage. The electronics were not particularly reliable, and what happens? What used to happen was that the machine would just stop working. It would die because the electronics had failed. So when somebody took it in to be fixed, the technician would take it apart, diagnose that the electronics had failed, and then just bridge them out. So it would just be a simple on-off. So the machine was turned into a normal Goblin 1000. Also, I noticed a bit of cracking noise going on around the bag chamber area. And that in and of itself is not a particular problem, because you would kind of expect it. It's old. It's an old cleaner. And it was never intended that this machine would last until 2021. Never. It would never even have crossed their minds for it to last 38 years. These machines they just died. They just died. They just died because plastic is not particularly great, motors not particularly great, electronics not particularly great. It's Goblin. So yeah, the fact that this is still here after 38 years is a minor miracle. And I will say to you guys, these are rare. These are extraordinarily rare cleaners. You do not see these very often at all. So if on your travels you happen to see a Goblin 1000, or especially one branded a Goblin Omni, you grab it. You grab it and you don't let go, because you will not see another one. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these, especially a electronic version. So there we go. That's it. We've had a nice look at our Omni. I hope you enjoyed that. See, I'm calling it an Omni and I really shouldn't. It's a Goblin 1000. It's not an Omni. And it would be really interesting to know why they stopped using the Omni branding. I wonder why. Maybe because the original Omnis were even worse than this and they had a really bad reputation. It's possible. Who knows? But yeah, there we go. So definitely need to do a service of this. Give it a really good clean. Clean up the tools as well. They're really manky. And see if there's any plastic bits left in the box. But yeah, there we go. That's our video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe as well, because it really helps me out and I love hearing from you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye.